There are a lot of people out there that think buyer agency is going to be dead. I myself was predicting that when the NAR settlement came through in the fall of last year, but I am changing my tune because I'm starting to look at some of the alternatives to buyer agency, and let me tell you, the options are not great. Brian here with Lamacchia Realty. I have an article pulled up that talks about a company by the name of Flyhomes, and they are using AI to emulate seemingly what a buyer agent would do for a client. So let's take a look at this article, and then we'll actually go into the site and explore it a little bit, and we will see if it is in fact a replacement for a buyer agent. Flyhomes acquires Zero Down, launches AI-powered home search portal. The platform aims to increase available online information for prospective homebuyers amid changes with real estate agent commissions. Sounds good on the surface. Seattle-based prop tech company Flyhomes announced Tuesday that it has acquired the assets of startup Zero Down and is launching an artificial intelligence-powered home search portal to bring conversational real estate search and research to the market. Developed over the past 2 years, the newly rebranded Flyhomes portal is proprietary technology that was designed under the guidance of Zero Down co-founders Lax Srini, Abhijit Dwivedi, who have joined Flyhomes as Chief Technology Officer and Chief Growth Officer, respectively. The platform is designed to greatly expand the amount of information that prospective homebuyers can find online. Flyhomes CEO Tushar Garg said in a news release that the timing of the launch coincides with the National Association of Realtors' recent settlement regarding agent commissions, which has resulted in extensive changes that will go into effect August 17th. That is what I alluded to. So August 17th is the changeover, and that is when that, in case you are not familiar with this, if you pay attention to this channel, you definitely know about it, but it is when the cooperating buyer agent compensation field gets removed from all MLSs. I say all MLSs, but it's not all MLSs, because if you watch my last video, which I will leave a link to right here, you will see that there are some that are actually fighting this settlement because it is terrible for both buyers and sellers and just consumers in general, because it leads to a lot less transparency out there. Historically, buyers have had unlimited access to agents without ever needing to compensate them for their time, Garg says. The settlement of the commission lawsuits mandates that buyers now sign a contract to compensate their agents directly before touring homes or even identifying potential properties. This barrier of signing a contract up front will cause many buyers to delay reaching out to an agent, limiting their access to the information agents provide. This will create a massive friction in the market, and AI is reaching technical maturity at just the right time to be the solution. Has anyone else goofed around with any of the AI offerings out there? It is nowhere near maturity. I did a video on a different YouTube channel, but it was talking about the Lightroom generative remove feature that's AI powered within Lightroom, and for simple things it worked okay, not great, and for more complex, when I say more complex, like I don't know, it had like, there were like 2 or 3 things that it needed to get rid of. It was terrible. It did not work, and of course, I'm sure it will get better over time, but as of right now, it just doesn't work. So claiming that AI is in its maturity is laughable. My experience with AI so far has been that a lot of it, better than half of the stuff that it generates, is just flat out wrong. Let me know down in the comments if you agree with me on that or not, but just in talking with other people who have experience using these tools, they completely agree with me. It's just not ready for prime time. So to attach your if you're a home buyer and you're attaching it to the AI results, that's a terrible idea, because it's not going to provide you with real results, and instead provide you down a path perhaps that you were not even considering. AI is quickly gaining momentum in the mortgage and real estate spaces. Last week, Keller Williams announced the launch of Quick, KWIQ, an agent assistant that can answer questions about various market trends and real estate topics. It can also draft content for newsletters, social media posts, and listing descriptions, among other tasks. Let's talk about that. So all these little chat bots that are out there, now more than ever, people are desperate to talk to a human being. If you have an insurance claim, it gives you a chatbot. If you have something with your cell phone carrier, it's a chatbot. It's all these chatbots, and it is extremely difficult to actually get a hold of a live human being, and people are desperate for that. So I think this is way overstating the adoption of it. People are using it only because it's the only way that they have available to them. Given the choice, they would much rather talk to a person. Roof AI also recently announced that it is integrating OpenAI technology into its sales assistant using large language models. Flyhomes has a stated goal to compete with the largest home search portals, including Homes.com, Realtor.com, Redfin, and Zillow. Executives believe the firm can be successful in the, quote, portal wars because it offers, quote, the best technology and deepest insights for consumers, not the biggest brand or the largest ad budget. So there's an ad budget. Who would have thunk? This is a company that's in the business of making money. Flyhomes is currently active in 28 states and Washington, D.C., covering roughly 75% of the U.S. population, with plans to expand in the near future. Its search engine features hundreds of data points from more than 40 unique sources. It's able to access property records of the state, county, and city levels, and it also draws from federal data through the U.S. Census Bureau, the FEMA, and USGS. The firm explained that each dataset, quote, has been carefully parsed, categorized, and layered on top of the information provided by the MLS to create the richest set of housing data in real estate, with hundreds more data points than the nearest competitor. Sure, you can stack the data, but are you inferring certain things based off of the data? Or are you just like looking into the numbers? You're like that, we're going to get to that in a second. We went over to the site because you're going to see some of the questions that are like a clear violation of fair housing, but apparently these guys are immune to that. The AI-driven portal allows consumers to ask many of the same conversational and nuanced questions that a local real estate agent might answer. Some examples are, is this home a good deal compared to others in the neighborhood? How does the job market here compare to other cities? What are the best schools in the area? How is T-Mobile's coverage in this home? Okay, let's talk about some of these questions. This one is the most egregious. What are the best schools in the area? Now, this, by every definition, is considered steering. Literally steering. You cannot discuss schools with prospective clients. And here we have this AI company that thinks it's absolutely okay to talk about schools when someone is asking questions. Like, sure, I'll give you some options based off of what they consider to be the best schools. Who defines what the best schools are? And we'll get to that when we actually get to the website. But this is the problem with AI. All of these questions, with the exception of one, how does the job market compare to other cities? That's pretty easy to get like empirical data, right? To show how many jobs are being created in Boston versus, say, some of the other cities that are out there. But all these other ones are completely subjective. So who is making these decisions as to what is this a good deal compared to others in the neighborhood? Like, how are we going to compare it? Is it a good deal? Is it a bad deal? Do you know everything there is to know about the house itself? Do you know the foundation type? Do you know how old the roof is? Do you know how recently the appliances were replaced? Is the kitchen remodeled? Is there another bathroom that's been added to the home recently? Has it been through mass save programs so that there's insulation in the walls and it saves you a bunch of money over the course of a year? Like, these are all questions that there's no way this system is going to be able to answer consistently. It's just no way. Moving on, existing home search portals were built nearly 20 years ago. Like 20 years ago is so long, right? And are intentionally designed to provide just enough information to generate a customer lead, Srini said. We've taken a different approach, building a portal unlike anything else on the market, one that lets consumers have a conversation as though they're talking to a local real estate agent. Now, again, you're not talking to a local real estate agent, but we want to give it the perception that you are. Okay. Dwivedi added that the technology is meant to supplement the work of agents rather than replace them. Okay, so then what's the point? The point is this system is designed to do exactly what those other systems are doing, which is to generate leads. And then who pays for the leads? The agents. So this is no different. I'll stop reading here, and I'll let you read the rest. I'll put a link to this in the description down below. But you can see that this is no different than a Zillow, a Redfin, any of the other big sites that are serving up information in hopes of capturing someone's information, an interested buyer's information, or an interested seller's information. This is just like a so-called fancy layer to it, where it's conversational. It gives them more opportunity to capture someone's information as opposed to some of those other sites where it's fairly static. So let's just take a look real quick at this site. Again, this is Flyhomes, and I'm just going to refresh it because one of the first questions here is, show me homes near excellent schools. Okay, so I put in Boston, and we found a whopping 3 homes near excellent schools. Okay, so does this make any sense whatsoever? 3 homes that are near good schools, and when I click on filters and I scroll down and I look at schools as one of the factors here. Okay, this is something that we as real estate agents cannot do. This is considered steering. So find homes based on great schools ratings. Okay, so I'm choosing 8. This is just a random number based off of this company called Great Schools. This is a data point, but it is not the data point, right? You talk with other people in a community to better understand how are the schools. You can talk to administrators within those schools. Talk to kids, parents of kids that have their kids enrolled in those schools. That's how you gather that information, not from doing it based off of Great Schools ratings. Where do these come from? These are so random. I looked at some of the schools that were ranked. Newton in particular is like one of the best school systems in the nation, and they had a bunch of schools that were like 6, 7. Like, come on. This isn't reality. Not to mention, Massachusetts in general has some of the best public schools in the entire world. Not even the country, but literally the entire world. So an 8 in Massachusetts is literally like a 10 in the vast majority of the other in the other states. And a 5 might be like an 8 somewhere else. So it is all relative. And this is wildly misleading, which is why we as agents, we can't use this. This is steering, and this is terrible. So let me go back here. All right, what else? They have a little chat bot down on the bottom. Oh, here it is. Okay, so here's the first question. It suggests single-family homes near good schools and parks in Boston, Mass. Is Boston, Mass a good place to live? Completely subjective. Who defines good? How's the real estate market in Boston, Massachusetts? Again, completely subjective. Homes with big backyards that were built after 1980 in Boston, Mass. Let's click on that one. This is completely subjective, right? Actually, no, it's not, as I think about it. Big backyards. Define a big backyard, right? How do let me, here. We found 12 homes. Go to home search, and I'm going to click on, where is the search criteria? Filters. Okay, so big backyard. How are we defining big backyard? Okay, so they don't. So big backyard, here I'm in Watertown. So a big backyard in here might be like, or a big lot. It's easy to look at lot size. So a big lot here in Watertown might be like 10,000 square feet, right? Whereas a 10,000 square foot lot in, Acton is tiny. Like that's a very small lot, but because homes are much tighter, in my area, 10,000 square foot lot is pretty good size, right? So this, again, who defines big backyards? They don't give you any empirical data to say, okay, this is a big backyard. How was that defined, right? So a big backyard here, I think I've got a big backyard, and it's like 1,500 square feet, but that's a lot better than the 200 square feet that most people have around here, right? All right, so I will stop with the search. You get the idea. You get the gist of what's going on here. This is definitely not ready for prime time. This is just another website that is trying to capture information, trying to generate buyer leads to then sell them to buyer agents in the market. So it's like a more sophisticated Zillow, I guess you'd say, that breaks laws, right? There's all kinds of housing violations on there, because this is literally steering. We talk about steering, and we're getting like the real estate industry in general is getting hammered, saying that we are the ones that are steering buyers to different listings based off of the offer of compensation, which couldn't be further from the truth. But here we are, we have a company like this, Flyhomes, that is literally steering people towards certain neighborhoods, and they can get away with it. This makes no sense. We have a huge disconnect between what's going on in like reality and what's happening in like politics. It's just a big mess. But I digress. Let me know down in the comments what you think about this. Do you see this as a future, or do you think how I feel about it, which this actually adds even more value to a buyer agent, because the results that you get out of this are so poor, and they will be frustrating because people get granular on this stuff so quickly, and it's just not going to be able to answer any of those questions. And if it does, it's going to be like some generic answer. It's not going to work. But hey, it'll be interesting. I'm sure they got a bunch of money, and the bunch of people will get rich off of an IPO maybe at some point. We'll have to wait and see, but it's certainly not going to replace buyer's agent. That is for sure. That's all I have for today. Thank you for watching. If you did enjoy this content, I just kindly ask that you smash the like button and maybe hit the subscribe button as well, and we will catch you in the next one. Take care.